Oh, this actually brings me to something. Hey, Helena, so many patrons here. This actually brings me to something. Okay, let me start back. I'm Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic diet. And I like to talk about how you might be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life. How about that? I am probably going to scale back on my public live streams. It just seems like every week there's a technical issue, and I want the quality to be there. So the bulk of my content is for patrons at this point. So I'm probably going to pull back on the live streams, just to let you know. Not that that's any great loss to the universe, but wanted to let you know. Okay, so today's topic is the true keto victories. And weight loss is fantastic. But I'll tell you what, it comes right down the list as far as victories, as far as I'm concerned. I'm very happy to have lost the weight. And losing weight when you're overweight is important. Overweight is not healthy. Now, that's not to say that there aren't very happy, healthy, overweight people. But in truth, I'm going to say I used to joke because I was perfectly round. Oh, I'm the healthiest fat person you'll ever meet. Well, I could get away with that in my 20s, my 30s, a little bit in my 40s. Into my 50s, it just catches up with you. So losing weight is important. But there are other things that happen when you follow the protocol. Sometimes the very first thing people notice is that they physically don't have they have less pain, namely in their joints. And it's not because they've lost a load of weight. I noticed within about 3 weeks, my joints didn't hurt. And it would be easy to say, of course your joints don't hurt anymore. You're not carrying around all that weight. Well, I hadn't lost much weight by that point. The inflammation went down. Who knew? I wasn't expecting that. For those of you who don't know, I'd given up on losing weight, and I didn't even think about inflammation. I just figured everything hurt because I was getting older. And because I was fat, and I deserved it. I just didn't want to take insulin for type 2 diabetes. And I knew I was on deck for that. So anyway, that's one of the first things, inflammation. Another thing is you find that you don't need afternoon naps. My mood regulated almost immediately. I was chronically depressed, not every day. But if anyone has suffered from depression, clinical depression, then you know it doesn't have to be every day to impact your life. But I haven't had an episode of it since I started this. Weight loss is great. Getting our lives back is even greater. I'm here to tell you, I've been doing this for over 5 years now, 5.5. Monday, it'll be 5.5 years. And I'm still recognizing that I'm doing things that I wouldn't or couldn't have done even 1.5 years ago. I'm changing. I continue to change. And I'm 61. It's never too late to become the person you could have been or might have been. That's a quote from George Eliot, also, I believe, known as Marianne Evans. It's never too late. And that's one of the great gifts. That's one of the victories, is realizing that life is not behind you. I don't care whether you're 20 or 70 or 80. And I always love to talk about Sweet Marie, who may be listening. She came to the Go Keto with Casey Portland Roadshow in September. She came down with her son, Walter, and she shared how she has a pacemaker and all this stuff, and she gave up sugar, starches. I mean, she essentially just started following the protocol pretty much, but she really gave up sugar. And now she's on no medications. Oh, Marie, that's wonderful. When did you give up sugar? 3 years ago. Wow, that's great. Can you share your age, Marie? I'm 93. So if Marie can make a life-changing improvement at 90 and be off of no medications at age 93. There is no excuse for anyone. And I don't like to use the word excuse, but we do tend to try to make our explanations be excuses. An explanation, oh, I'm very metabolically damaged because I grew up eating junk food. So we all did, unless you were in a hippie commune where you're eating macrobiotic loaves of sprouted berries or something. You know, you'll hear people say, well, I just grew up and I'm so metabolically damaged. One of my earliest memories is walking around my house as a toddler with a bag of Oreos under my arm and just eating them. I was the sixth of 7 children. I think by that point, my mother just wanted some quiet. How better to quiet a child other than stuff them with cookies? And if my father was cooking, the meal might be white bread, like bunny bread if you're from the South, Merita bread. So white bread with margarine and sugar. And 6 packs, 8 at a time of Coca-Cola were always in the house. Chips Ahoy, Captain Crunch, Fruit Loops. We all did this. So I'm metabolically damaged, but this fixes it. And you feel better. But one of the really great things is food is no longer the boss. We were having a patron-only live stream yesterday, and someone asked, I think it was Vita, does anyone else feel like food is now just a nuisance? Yes. Does anyone here feel like food is kind of a nuisance? You just, oh, why do I have to spend my time eating? I just want to do other things, which is an unbelievable change of frame of mind, because food was the driving thought in my head for a long time. Even though I didn't want it, I would be crying actual tears while I was eating, knowing I shouldn't be eating whatever it was, crying while I was eating it, asking myself, why am I eating this? And then thinking, what can I eat next? It's like, addict behavior. So let's not, let's celebrate the victories of feeling better, coming off of medications, getting your brain back, not needing an afternoon nap, regulated mood. But then let's not say, and that's okay if I'm not going to lose weight. It's okay. I mean, not losing weight is okay. But follow the protocol. And just about everybody, if they stick to it, will lose body fat. Let's put it this way, body fat. It might take time. Some of us have particular challenges, hormonal challenges, autoimmune conditions, medications. Steroids can impact if you have to take steroids. So there's a balance. This is not just about weight loss or fitting into cuter jeans or sassy shoes, of which I have now many pairs, as opposed to the one pair of Dansko knockoffs that I wore all the time because, and they had to be knockoffs because Dansko didn't make wide enough clogs for me. Now I have sassy shoes. People who are on the cruise can attest to that. By the way, speaking of the cruise, there's going to be the Alaska cruise in July of 2020. We already have about 75 people who have contacted Lisa Pennert, the travel coordinator and cruise liaison. We're leaving out of Alaska, returning to Alaska. Seattle, out and back, and going through. So go to my blog, kcdurango.com, and check out and Dr. Eric Westman and Amy Berger are going to be joining us. This is going to be great. Let me tell you how this is going to be different. Conferences and other things are fantastic when there's a large panel of experts. Fantastic, so much information. This cruise is going to be about the attendees and being able to ask one-on-one Amy Berger, Eric Westman, each other. Questions, share stories, celebrate victories. And frankly, if somebody's not crying by the end of our discussions, we'll have days presentations, then we're not doing it right, because these are emotional and happy stories. So anyway, okay, hey, Vicki from Southeast Washington. Hello, everyone. I'm late because a friend just now texted me asking for info about keto. Isn't that great, Vicki? You never know who is watching. You never know whom you may impact. You never know. Your example might change a life. How wonderful is that? Now, I was just talking to somebody in my front garden, because I'm giving away black-eyed Susans, Rebecca Herta, because they're all over. We have about 1 billion black-eyed Susans in our front garden. So I put out a thing to the neighbor. It said, bring a shovel, come get some black-eyed Susans. So a woman came. We chatted. She said, well, I have my own business, so it's hard for me to have to, I have to travel a lot. So the garden and all this stuff. I said, what do you do? I'm a photographer. Oh, I need to get some decent photographs made of myself. What do you do? I have this thing, Go Keto with Casey. She said, oh, I know about keto. She says, but I have an autoimmune thyroid condition. I said, is it Hashimoto's thyroiditis? Yep. I said, yep. That we have other people. I believe our friend Vicki from Southeast Washington has Hashimoto's thyroiditis, along with one of everything else. And so she was saying, well, I listen to everything. I said, please be careful to whom you listen. Please. There's just wrong information out there. And it's geared towards these people making money. So they're cutting corners, and you can say just about anything you want to say, because keto is a non-regulated term. Please be careful. And some people, I don't even get why some of these people have such large followings. I mean, I just personally find them distasteful. Some have been around a long time. I just find them distasteful and not necessarily trustworthy. Okay, that's just my opinion. Jenny Sanders writes, I'm 62. Uh-oh, Helena writes, I got a wolf whistle on the walk home today. Granted, the guy was elderly and probably has cataracts, but I'll take it. Helena, come on now, girl. I bet you were strutting too. Commune food was full of carbs. Absolutely. Oh, and you were raised by hippies. I forget. John Peters. Oh my God, I just said that 20 minutes ago. Not sure what you're talking about. Yes, a nuisance. Deborah, you're talking about food becoming a nuisance? Yeah, it is. I haven't really had any solid food today yet. I've been really busy. Life is great. Life is so good. I've said this before. I kind of want to stay under the universe's radar so it doesn't know how good life is, because I'm afraid I'll get smacked. That's just my Catholic upbringing. Jenny writes, I wrote to Good Housekeeping because they had a blurb that shot down keto. Lee Jeffries writes, greetings from Rumbling, California. We are really rolling. Oh my gosh. Are you safe? I have only experienced one earthquake experience, and it was very mild. It was here in Greensboro, and we weren't the epicenter, but that was bizarre. I cannot imagine what you guys are going through. Take care, Lee. Teacher Paula, hi, I'm glad to be with you live, Casey. I admire what you do. Thank you. I was telling mi esposo, Paula, que estás en Colombia. Y también esa mujer dice, it's difficult to do keto because I love to travel. And I love tasty foods. So that's not hard. Isn't that hard? You just have to be careful. Annette writes, I have allergies to avocado, coconut, so have to improvise with fats. Do you eat the fat that comes with your protein sources? Do you eat beef and poultry with the skin? Beef with fat, ribeyes with the fat, bacon with the fat, pork chops with the fat, eggs with yolks? That gives you the fat you need. You don't have to add oils. It's not required. Holly writes, when I heard you say, are you going to give away your power to that piece of cake? It just clicked. And it has been so easy ever since. I feel great and in control for the first time in a very long time. Congratulations. Brings me to swag. Now, I'm going to say it again. You do not have to purchase one thing to be 100% successful on the ketogenic diet. You don't have to buy testing supplies. You certainly do not have to buy specialty foods. Please don't. If a food says keto on the label, I would suggest walking by because it's an unregulated term. You don't have to buy powders. There's nothing that will get you into ketosis. There's nothing that you consume that will get you burning fat for fuel. It's what you don't consume that gets you burning fat for fuel. But you can't always buy a mug or a t-shirt. So below this very video, this is a mug. I designed it. I can and I will go keto with Casey. Because you can and you will. And this t-shirt I also designed. IC and IW, go keto with Casey. I can and I will. And I'm going to do one that says keto strong, go keto with Casey. So please know that you can do this. The young woman today says that something's not clicking with me with keto. It's just not working. And I didn't, she didn't ask my opinion, so I didn't offer one. I did ask her to come to the meetup that I'm having. By the way, if you're in the Greensboro area, late notice, I did not put out an event thing. I'm having my Go Keto with Casey meetup at Wine Styles at Friendly on Monday at 6:15. I always take a book because I never know if anyone's going to show up. But almost always it's something, I'm doing it really strictly. 95% of the time. Well, 95% of the time may not cut it for some people. It might be fine for other people. But, there's a character out of Greek mythology, Sisyphus. And he was punished by the gods for his hubris by having to roll a boulder up a hill every day. And the boulder would always start rolling backwards when he got nearly to the top, and it would roll all the way back down. And he had to do this every day for eternity. I'm doing, I have a carb up day, or I do it 95% of the time, or I'm usually keto, or I'm doing net carbs. That's kind of like Sisyphus. You can be rolling along 95% of the time. That 5% of the time, the boulder's going to roll all the way back down the hill. And you're going to have to start over. It takes on average 4 days to start burning fat for fuel when one is being compliant. 4 days. So if you have a so-called cheat day once a week, you might be burning fat for fuel on Friday. And then Saturday you have your cheat day, and you got to spend until Thursday getting back into burning fat for fuel. So you're burning fat for fuel Friday. There's almost always an answer. And let's face it, some people just don't want to give up carbs, and that's okay too. But just own it. Or you want to eat more fuel than you need. Just because it's keto friendly does not mean eating 3 ribeye steaks is recommended. Right? At some point, your body only requires so much fuel. And if you are putting on weight on the ketogenic diet, you're not doing it right. That's okay too, though. No judgment. Okay, let me turn my Vita. Hey, Vita, good morning, all you beautiful keto people. Just got done at the gym, about to go home and have my first fuel, leftover prime rib, around Go Keto with Casey at Patreon. We call it fuel. We try to get away from labeling things meals or snacks. We just call it fuel because that's what it is. And I'm going to put this in here. And this is a little plug for Patreon. It is patrons who make it possible for me to have left my previous career. Hey, Cindy, thank you so much for the super chat. And the super chat, thank you, is when her question's going to linger a while. Hi, lady, what are you drinking there? Hashtag Casey's pink drink. Tall glass of ice, diet tonic water, a splash of diet cranberry, and a squeeze of lime. It's very refreshing. And because I'm talking so much, I like to keep my whistle wet. One ribeye lasts for 3 days now, says Selena. Nadia writes, that's me, Sisyphus. Coglantis. I hope to meet you next month at the support group in Durham, driving down from upstate New York to share my keto experience. Denise, yay! I'm so happy to be back at the Durham support group meetings. I think I was overly excited and I probably blabbed too much, but that's kind of how I roll. So I'll try to be calmer next time. Hey, Jean, Casey, Jean, you're yelling at me. Casey, I think you missed my comment. I made it to size 10, even though not at goal weight. Congratulations, Jean. That's fantastic. Yeah, the weight is almost peripheral at some point. Now, you should not be getting larger. If you're not losing any ounces and losing no fractions of an inch, re-examine what you're doing. If you're a closet carb eater and you don't want to let the world know, that's a whole other conversation. But getting smaller without losing weight is a thing. And it's great. I think actually my body has remodeled a bit. Was it last week? I was wearing size 4 Calvin Klein linen shorts. Come on now. Who would have ever thought? So again, and because of your super chat, Cindy, tall glass, lots of ice, diet tonic water, splash of diet cranberry, squeeze of lime. Very refreshing. Oh gosh, Claire Lunier writes, I just got back from a 2-week bicycle tour of Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand. Exhausting and wonderful, physically demanding, and something I could never have dreamed of doing before keto. Wow, that is impressive. You know, there are things I forgot that I used to like to do and that I was good at. And now I'm rediscovering that. And I'm sure other people have the same story. Debbie Doctor, I can't drink anything diet, extremely sensitive to any kind of artificial sweetener. I stick to water. Some people are like that, Debbie. I've heard that from a lot of people. It does not bother me nor my lovely mate. But some people it just stimulates wanting more sugar. So you're wise to know yourself. That's one of the things we have to do. We have to know ourselves. Get that boss out of the way. We have to know ourselves. Listen to our own bodies. Don't let an app tell you what to do. Don't let someone else's experience tell you what to do. Don't let what I eat dictate what you eat. That's one reason I don't share what I eat anymore. Because, for some people that would be a scary little amount of food. For other people, it's like, no wonder she can't lose those last 2.6 pounds. She's eating way too much. I just want to lose 2.6 more pounds so I can say I lost 100 pounds. That's all I want. Just 2.6 more pounds. I'm so close. Yeah, Kristen writes, hey, Casey, I'm no longer afraid to buy clothes. One of my most read blog posts on my blog, CaseyDurango.com, was, is it okay to go back? Is it safe to go back into the retail store again? Something like that. And I had a fat girl flashback when I went into a Soma store. And I won't tell you about it, but you can read about it. Yeah, that's great. Clothes are a big deal. I still get the bulk of my clothes from Stitch Fix. And I just really like it. And I've done some unboxing of those as well. I just like it. Because one thing, I don't like to shop for anything. I don't like shopping. It's not therapy for me, it's punishment. Grocery shopping, office supply shopping, clothes shopping, I don't like to shop. Jean says, thanks, Casey. I was not yelling at you. I was just yelling to get your attention. LOL. Very good. Vicky, yes, I have Hashimoto's. Doctor recently decreased meds as my labs were better after 40 years. She said there is some evidence that keto improves thyroid function. You know, I'm waiting to find out what is not improved. It's if we feed our bodies the fuel they were designed to use. You know, it's like you struggle with an automobile for years and years. You figure out, oh, wow, I was putting diesel in it. It's a gasoline engine. Yikes. Actually, I don't think that'll work. I don't know enough about cars, but I guess your car won't go anywhere if you put diesel into it and it's supposed to have gasoline. Okay, I love that you guys answer each other's questions. Hey, Karen from Alaska. Did I hear that it was 90 degrees in Anchorage? That's crazy. I was showing my husband your before-after pictures last night, Casey. He could hardly believe it. I can hardly believe it. It took me, I couldn't look at any of those before photographs for years until a couple of friends independently, after I'd lost 50 pounds maybe, sent me them and said, listen, I know you don't want to see photos, but I want you to see how far you've come. And we don't have an image in our brains that it's hard. Okay, Nadja writes, didn't lose weight last month, but almost 8 inches off my body. No complaints. There you go. Hey, Leva. I'm trying to drop those last 15 or 20 vanity pounds. I'm sure it sure is difficult. Most importantly, I've dropped a few high blood pressure prescriptions. Coming off the meds, that's the first thing. Well, feeling better, that's the first thing. Coming off of medications, just think of the downhill impact. Money savings, even if your insurance covers it, somebody's paying for it. And we're enriching the pharmaceutical companies. And they got enough money. They don't need ours. Nancy writes, the weight loss is great, but health benefits are the most amazing. Keto on. Casey, I drink kombucha. Is it okay on the diet? You know, how to Denise? I don't know. Fermented foods and beverages are different. For instance, milk is not, because it's full of lactose, which is sugar. Yogurt is okay because the fermentation process has literally eaten the sugars to make the yogurt. Same thing with wine made from grapes. The fermentation process eats the sugar. Same thing with whiskey and stuff. The fermentation eats the sugars. Kombucha, I'm thinking is okay for that same reason. But I don't know. Our older son and his wife make their own kombucha and flavor it with their homegrown herbs and berries and things. It's really cool. I like it. Karen from Alaska says, yep, hot up here. Karen Miles writes, I'm packing for my vacation. I'm so happy that I don't have to pack my CPAP machine anymore. 35 pounds gone in 23 months on keto. CPAP. Does that not change your life? Being able to sleep without mechanical assistance to breathe? Unbelievable. Vicky and Vita talking to each other. They are both patrons. My fatty liver is still bad, but still plugging on. Keep with it. There is a so-called expert. He's really an online personality who is selling kits and powders, who says, be careful, because if you don't get in enough vegetables, keto will cause fatty liver disease. As Dwight Schrute from The Office would say, false. It's the cure for fatty liver disease, and the fewer vegetables, the better as far as that goes. Because most of the carbs are in the vegetables. Lee Jeffries writes, at my doctor visit, my doctor said my blood pressure was 106 over 62, and he was amazed for somebody age 67 has athletic blood pressure. There you go, my friend. They said it couldn't be done. Okay, I'm going to start to wrap up. Again, I'm probably going to scale back on these. I already stopped doing Facebook Live. things, and I'm probably going to scale back on these and concentrate. I've got some other things going on. So, and in order to keep a work-life balance and to tend to my patrons. So if you're in the Greensboro area Monday, stop by Wine Styles at Friendly for a meetup. Let me know if you're coming so I can give the server a heads up. The support group meeting is the second Tuesday of every month at the Duke Hilton near the Durham Hilton near Duke. There's a keto-friendly buffet for about $18, but you don't have to eat anything. You don't have to drink anything. And you can just show up, and I'll be there, and Dr. Westman, and I'm sure others will be there, but I can't speak for them. So anyway, Judy writes, love the snippets. Okay, oh, to let you know, Patreon, I do about 20 old school snippet videos a month for patrons. I'm sitting at my kitchen, as I've said before, pre-makeup, sometimes pre-coffee, and with pillow hair. And I do a bunch of patron-only live streams, a bunch of patron-only video group sessions where we can all see each other, and monthly one-on-ones, depending on the pledge level. Thank you very much. And I've got some special offers coming up. We'll miss the regular lives. Yeah, just something had to give. Bye-bye. Thank you for blessing your Saturday chats. Thank you so much. Well, I'll be around, just not as much. I was doing it weekly. I'm not going to do it weekly. Thank you, Vicki. She says Patreon is well worth it, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, have a great Saturday. Remember, you can do this. You can do this. You can and you will. Keep your carbs 20 grams or fewer a day, total, not net. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. Lita, thank you for the $2 super chat. You didn't need to do that. You're a patron. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Be good. Okay, Debbie. See you on Patreon. Ciao, Bella.